Before we start today's story, please let us know your location in the comment section and don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm Ryan Delgado. I live in a small Irish town, and when this story begins, I had a good job as production engineer at a local branch of a big international company. I met Sophia Porter at a friend's wedding. Nothing happened there, but I got her phone number, and she got mine. To my great surprise, she rang me a week later and invited me to dinner at her place. I accepted and went with a bottle of wine and Big Red Rose. Her place was in a good order, her cooking was great, and we had very good time. In fact, such a good time together in her bed that I even got breakfast before going home in the morning. Of course, I was happy I met such a sexy girl, and why I continued dating her and getting more great sex. After a few further dates, Sophia told me that she was in love with me and demanded me to be honest and tell her about my feelings for her. I looked straight into her eyes and told her the truth. I was in love with her too. After just 4 months, we agreed to live together in my house. A house I've been able to buy thanks to a little money from Lotto. I had one. I had been lucky enough to increase that 10 times during the IT boom at the stock market. I had sold out everything when they were on top and invested all of it, and then used that as down payment for a nice house. After moving in together, Sophia suggested a great wedding at the 10-year anniversary of our first date. That was okay with me. I even accepted her demands about separate bank accounts and let her print out very detailed conditions about who should pay what. Though it looked a bit weird, I accepted her suggestions mostly because that got my house protected as private property if we went separate ways. Some small warning bells were ringing during our time together right after she moved into my house. I was an average guy and not a skilled Casanova, and that's why I had some doubts. I was concerned that if a guy like me could get laid by her after the first dinner date, what could a real skilled womanizer get Sophia to do? This is especially true if he met her on his natural hunting grounds such as conferences, company parties, or girls' nights out. Of course, I never suspected anything had happened, and soon the warning bells switched off because Sophia and I were having a good relationship. In fact, it was much better than what many of our friends had. Sophia and I promised to keep our family out of problems, and for every divorce we witnessed among our friends, we even got closer. Sophia got pregnant, and we had our daughter Chloe. However, nobody is 100% perfect forever, and that's why we got into our first serious family problem. After 8 years and 7 months together. Just as in many other relationships, it was economic matters what got Sophia and me on the warpath. Our problems began when the company where I worked moved all its production and most of the local administration to Portugal. My job and more than 600 other jobs were lost forever in our town. Of course, it was impossible to find so many new jobs in a short time in a small Irish town like ours. The first 3 months as unemployed, I got my salary from the company as usual. But after that it became hard because now, I only had my limited savings and the small monthly payments from my unemployment insurance. It was hard times, but I kept it rolling on. Sophia paid her expenses exactly due to our agreement, and to my surprise she did not offer or showed any intentions of helping me by taking an increased share of our family expenses. Then one terrible month shit hit the fan. We had with several unexpected problems. An expensive service for my car, both fridge and the dishwasher broke down and had to be replaced, and a high bill from my dentist. Then, worst of all, Sophia and I had agreed go to an expensive show one weekend at our capital city, along with Olivia and Liam, old friends of Sophia. Without talking with me, Liam had bought tickets, express train tickets, and booked rooms at a 5-star hotel to the 4 of us. I knew for sure that my economy was down to zero, and even a small loan from my relatives would be necessary for paying all my bills. I had no interest of using any loan to go to a 5-star hotel and a damn show. Neither did I want to use any part of my last reserve, shares in a profitable company, that I intended to save for more important matters if my house got in a real trouble. For very simple reasons, I had no options and couldn't afford going to that show. I told Sophia that I couldn't afford that trip and why we had to skip it. She got furious and shouted, "Never in hell. Not my problem if you can't afford to go and have to stay home. But I want to see that show, and I'm going with Olivia and Liam, that's for sure." I had expected Sophia to offer me some economic assistance to solving my problem for the weekend trip, but as she didn't make any attempts or volunteer to do that, so I decided to swallow my pride and ask her, "You know how much I have to pay this month for all those unexpected expenses, but if you really want me to come with you to the show, could you please pay my share of the trip and I will pay some equal trip for you when I get a job again?" I asked her. Her chilly reply really surprised me. "I expected you to flip out. That's why I've already talked with Liam, and he promised to sell your ticket to somebody else. So you are going to the show without me rather than staying at home with me, or caring to help me when I have this temporary economic problem. We've turned to a very nice couple, haven't we? Liam says that you have still time until tomorrow to find the money, I'm sure you can fix it some way if you really want to come with me, Sophia said with a chilly voice. Okay, I got the message that you don't care a shit about me any longer. I'll take that as your final decision about you and me not doing anything together any longer. The time has come to get our damn problems solved once for all, I said and rushed out to my car and went off. She ran after me screaming something that I didn't hear. Some distance from my house, I parked the car and tried to calm down and think about the situation. Sophia and I had been living together for little more than 9 years. We had a child together, and we had plans about getting married in a big wedding at our 10th anniversary together. Everything had been fine with Sophia and me as long as I had my well-paying job with a good life. Probably a bit too good a life because my savings ought to have been much higher to help get past unexpected hard times such as the present. What hit me hardest was that now when I had some temporary economic problems, it was obvious I wasn't worth a shit in Sophia's opinion. No doubt that she nowadays only regarded me as a poor scum sucker who would cause economic problems for her. Even her interest in our sex life had suffered from the present situation. To my own surprise, it took me only a few minutes to decide what I ought to do to fix Sophia's and my problems. I went to see Olivia and Liam. They seemed a bit surprised to see me, so after some polite small talk, I went straight to my errand and told Liam, I can't afford to pay the tickets and Sophia refuses to help me to do that, so I'm coming to you about that weekend trip. I'm going to skip both the weekend trip and dump the greedy bitch that's living in my house. However, she is coming with you, but without me. By the way, she even told me you had already fixed her up with some stud as replacement for me. Who is he? Olivia said. Sophia has plenty money and I can't understand why she is doing that to you. I'm sorry that we are not able to help you in this matter because even we have many unexpected expenses after moving to this new house. Liam's old friend, Ethan Wallace, has promised to buy your share and join us. I shouted. That damn a-hole is courting Sophia and will have a night in a hotel room with her after some dining and lots of wine. Does Sophia know who is replacing me? Yes, and it was okay with her, said Liam. Who suggested that a-hole to be Sophia's escort? Isn't he married? That was my next question. He is a good guy who's got an unfair reputation. I met him by coincidence. He agreed to buy your tickets tomorrow if you hadn't done that until then and Sophia accepted. Explained Liam. I've lost a job, but not my pride. You can bet that my economic problem is only a temporary matter, and I can promise you that our 9 years together with that now shameless bitch Sophia will get a final solution this very evening. She can have her damn big wedding, but it will be without me. Be sure about that. I told them with a loud voice and saw in their faces that they had not expected me to react as hard as I did. Liam understood my anger and did attempt to calm me down by saying, No, it's not what you think. Ethan and I are sharing a room and the girls in the other room. That's the agreement. You can trust my word that nothing nasty will happen with Sophia and Ethan. Do you two really regard me as an idiot who will believe such damn crap talk? Do you believe that a skilled man like Ethan Wallace would miss such a great opportunity to screw Sophia? She is pissed at me because I have economic problems, and that's why she prefers to go there with him. But I can promise you that I don't give a shit if my ex-wife Sophia screws him. She can even get further cosily immersed from the nearby red light area. I think it's high time to call Ethan's wife for a friendly chat, I said before asking if they still had any cardboard boxes left from their moving to their new house. Olivia said, Please calm down. It is not as bad as it sounds. Liam and I can swear and promise you that Sophia will not do anything stupid. Why do you need the boxes? Ethan Wallace's bitch shall get out of my house. If I would accept her screwing for a night with an a-hole without throwing her out from my house, I would be a real laughing stock among all my friends. Never in the hell, never. Can I store her belongings in your garage while you are away on the trip? Otherwise, they will be stored on your lawn. I asked. Olivia objected loudly to my intentions to kick Sophia from my house, but Liam gave me 10 folded cardboard boxes and a spare key to their garage. I got a feeling that he really enjoyed the situation. I knew that Sophia got a phone call with a report about my plans as soon as I left Olivia and Liam and expected a furious Sophia to be meeting me at the door. Instead, I found her crying at the kitchen table. As soon as she saw me, she began sobbing. I'm sorry. Please forgive me for being stupid and egoistic. I'm truly ashamed about what I said before you left. Please forgive me. Of course, I understand your problems, and of course, we are a family that shall fix everything together. I've already told Olivia that we are going together on that trip, and there are no need for her to worry about any payment. Liam must have been stupid when he offered your ticket to Ethan, but please believe me that he wasn't my choice. Olivia and Liam didn't tell me who wanted to buy your ticket. Please believe me and forgive me. I replied. Liam told me a quite different story about the damn ticket. Feel free, go to your damn show with that gigolo as you really want to do, but you must be an incredible naive bitch if you were thinking that you after a few drinks, can share a bed with one of the most successful womanizer in our town during a whole night without be seduced to having sex. Please save me from hearing further silly crap and lies because I don't give a shit about what you are doing any longer. Enough is enough, and I've got enough crap from you, and can't take any further. Now she began crying loudly and sobbed after a while. Please forgive me for everything what I've said and done in this matter. I love you, only you, and please come with me to that show, but if you don't go, I don't go. Hell no, I won't go to either to that damn show nor anywhere else together with your damn so-called friends, and I don't give a damn shit any longer where you are going nor with what horny a-hole. You really wanted to humiliate me among all my friends and acquaintances by spending a night with Ethan Wallace. As I told Olivia and Liam, I've lost a job but not my pride. Why in the hell are you still sharing my bed if you don't care a damn shit about me and my feelings any longer? Sophia skipped the trip and stayed at home with me. But it was a chilly weekend, although she did her best to cheer me up. Later it came to my attention that Ethan Wallace had bragged to his friends that his old pal Liam had fixed him up with a great married woman. They were going to stay at a nice hotel during a weekend trip when his wife was away at a spa. Afterwards, when his friends teased him to be a dreamer because the married woman didn't go, and he went there with his brother instead, he got angry. Rumors said that Ethan then promised his friends that he would get the last laugh and screw that married woman some other time instead. When I told Sophia about Ethan's bragging and promises, she got a good laugh and promised me that it wouldn't happen, at least not before Sahara Desert turned to a swamp. I calmed down after a while, but I still had serious doubts about Sophia's love. She did plead with me to give her a second chance. To my surprise, she even, without any arguing, accepted my condition that Olivia and Liam should never be invited to our home, and certainly not invited to our wedding and wedding reception. Less than a month after our arguing about the show trip, I got a new well-paid job, and Sophia celebrated it by inviting me to a romantic weekend trip to Paris. On good reason, she paid for everything: flights, hotel, and a great show at the Moulin Rouge. We had a good and very romantic time along with great sex. Sophia pretended to be a French girl and did a lot of what they are famous for. Great trip indeed, but I had begun to get a feeling that our relationship would never be back to the level it had before the canceled weekend trip with Olivia and Liam. Right I was about that matter, and only a month later Sophia gave me the next surprise. On Saturday morning, she told me that Olivia and she had agreed to go shopping in our county capital. It's about 80 kilometers from our town, and she needed our car to that trip. It would be without children. That surprised me, and I asked, why without children this time? Olivia, and you are always going shopping with children, and I'm sure that Chloe needs something? Because Olivia will be buying a birthday present for Liam, and we are even going too many fashion shops during the busy day. It would be too boring for the kids. Our car was in fact my car because I paid for it. When I asked, why my car? Both Olivia and Liam have cars. Why should I pay Olivia's expenses for getting a present for her damn creepy husband? The man who did his best to set up you with his pal Ethan Wallace? Because Olivia's car is out of order and Liam had some important errands to do today, and don't worry for the gasoline, we shall pay for it, she said with a snooty voice. She was slightly better dressed than usually for a shopping trip and had even little more makeup than usual. That, together with my car for Olivia's shopping, gave me a strange feeling that something could be wrong. When Sophia went to the bathroom before leaving, I got the idea for a simple trick and switched off the ring signal on Sophia's cell phone. Following Sophia to the door, I noted that she was wearing high heels. No sane woman would wear high heels during a day in an old town center with a lot of cobblestones. I gave her a hug and said, I've got a strong feeling that something you intend to do today is really silly and wrong. I can't stop you from going to where you intend to go, but please don't put our wedding in jeopardy by dating Ethan Wallace today. She got ashen gray and left without any further comment. I checked out Liam on the web and found out that his 38th birthday was 71 days ahead. Hardly any reason for a big celebration with valuable presents, I thought. Living in a small town means many advantages, but even some disadvantages. Even average people can know a lot about each other, and there are even those whose main interest is to know a lot about friends and acquaintances. After the canceled weekend trip, I began to use all available sources to find out something about Olivia, Liam, and Ethan. But not Sophia, because a spouse was a limit even I understood. I knew that Ethan Wallace had had his driving license canceled 3 months for speeding. Then I had even got some useful nasty gossip about Olivia that I didn't intend to spread unless Liam and she tried to ruin my relationship with Sophia. About 20 minutes after Sophia had left, I pretended that couldn't find Chloe's favorite clothes that she wanted to wear to a birthday party later that day and called Olivia on her cell phone. She replied immediately. To my surprise, I could hear her daughter and Liam arguing in the background for a few seconds, and it was obvious that she rushed into another room and closed the door behind her. Now I understood that something was really wrong and Olivia wasn't in the car because I couldn't hear Sophia's favorite music from the car stereo. It was obvious that Olivia and Sophia weren't together. However, I pretended that everything was okay and said, Sophia's cell phone seems to be out of order for some reason. Would you please give your phone to her for a few seconds because I have a very important matter to ask her about? Sorry, but at this very moment we are at a gas station because Sophia got some problem with her belly and needed to go to the ladies' room, but I'll tell her to call you as soon as she's back again, Olivia told me with a slightly worried voice. No doubt that Sophia was alone or together with somebody else doing something I wasn't supposed to know, and Olivia was at her home acting as backup for her. But the switched-off cell phone had created an unexpected problem for them. It wasn't necessary to be any Einstein to guess what Sophia was into. A bet on Ethan Wallace would be a low-odds game. What could Olivia do? Call Sophia without getting a reply. If Sophia was with Ethan, and Olivia didn't know his number, it would take her some time to get his number from Liam and call Ethan, but it would be some problem for Sophia to call me in a reasonable time. Olivia did a good job, because 8 minutes later Sophia called me. After we had cleared up my main reason to call her, I said, please give the phone to Olivia because I have some important things to say about Liam's gift. Now Sophia sounded worried when she said, she in the ladies' room at the gas station. I'll ask you to call her when she is back. What the hell are you really doing? Have you set up a camp at a damn gas station just out of the town? Aren't you going to the county capital for shopping, or have you other plans? Sophia switched off the call, and Olivia called me 5 minutes later. I told her, it is obvious that Sophia and you are not together. Where in the hell is she? I can bet that you are at home, and she is at some shabby hotel screwing that damn whole Ethan Wallace at this very moment. If you are together with her, please give your phone to her for a few seconds. Otherwise, it is no doubt I'm right. Olivia's short reply was, go to hell. I didn't go there but I called her husband Liam. Olivia confessed that she is a backup for Sophia who pretends to be shopping with her, but I can bet that Sophia is with Ethan Wallace at this very moment. It is high time for you to skip all bullshit and tell me the whole truth. Liam replied, cool down, man. Why should I care a shit about what your bitch is doing? Because I do care about your wife. Ask her why Victor Jensen is bragging that he got her virgin but 2 years ago at their union conference trip at that famous spa on the West Coast. Liam and I had not been friends since my canceled weekend trip and had not even talked since then. He had tried to set up Sophia with his friend Ethan, and he was involved in Sophia's doings at the present time. In my opinion, he couldn't blame me for telling him the truth about his wife, though he refused to tell me the truth about my spouse. 10 minutes later, a furious Olivia called me and accused me for destroying her happy marriage. I told her that the only thing I had done was to get even because she had assisted Sophia in canceling my planned wedding. If she had immediately told me about Sophia and Ethan during my first call to her, she had still been a happy wife. Then she shouted, go to hell and take your damn bitch and your child with you. That line hit me hard. Really hard, indeed. I called Sophia's cell phone, and now she took the call. I asked her. Olivia just rang me and said that Chloe is a scum sucker child. Is that correct? She must gotten a shock, because she screamed, why did she say that to you? Because Ethan Wallace, and you have screwed up even her marriage, I presume. Why don't you ask her? A call to Ethan Wallace's wife gave me his cell phone number and the information that he was playing golf. I rang the mentioned number, and when Ethan replied, I told him, Sophia Stillman's spouse is searching for you with a shotgun. Those 2 calls ought to calm down the 2 lovebirds for a while. I found a private laboratory on the web and did order a DNA test kit. Sophia returned back home less than a half hour later and shouted at me, have you gone totally mad for threatening Ethan Wallace with shotgun and accusing both Olivia and me of cheating? I told her, shotgun? What shotgun? I've never owned any shotgun. Liam teased me for living together with a cheating bitch. He didn't care a shit about our relationship when he accepted that his own wife would be a backup for you and you're cheating today. He had to pay, just as some holy men say, an eye for eye, a tooth for a tooth. Don't blame me. Even I'm a victim in this damn crap. Ethan Wallace's wife got very angry when I told her I knew about Sophia and her husband. She said that Ethan had had several chances and now it would be an end for him. Then our neighbor, Eric Bennett, who is some kind of section boss at local police, rang our doorbell and asked if he could come in for a small talk. I had no objections and we sat down at the kitchen table. He asked me if I'd been out for hunting, and I told him the truth that I had been babysitter at home the whole morning because Sophia had our car for a shopping trip with her friend Olivia Linden. Then I said the truth again, that hunting wasn't my game and I had never owned any weapon and didn't have any plans for purchasing any either. He said he had gotten some wrong information, but we could go hunting together now, and then if I would be interested. After some small talk with Sophia and Chloe, he left. It was obvious that my call to Ethan Wallace had scared the shit out of him and gotten him to call the police. Eric should have been clever enough to do a discreet checking instead of sending the whole cavalry. Sophia continued nagging about why I had told Liam about Olivia's one-time fling with Victor Jensen. I caught her attention and said, "You ignored my warning about your date with Ethan Wallace, though you knew it would terminate our relationship. The only possible thing I can say to you is, many thanks for all the good times we shared together during our 9 years, and I'm sorry that you ended it in this dirty way. You can live in the spare room until you'll find an own apartment somewhere, and feel free to screw that rabbit Wallace as much as you want, but not in this house." She had not expected that from me and began to cry and rush to the bedroom. After a while, when she calmed down a little, she came back and sobbed, "You can't do that to me. Please believe me, because the truth is that I've never had any sex with him, nor anybody else than you since we met. You're overreacting without any reason to do that. Sorry, Sophia, but I can't marry or live together with a woman I can't trust. You lied to me about your shopping with Olivia and went straight to pick up Ethan Wallace in my car after I had warned you of the consequences. Both Olivia and Liam have confessed that you dated him today. Why in the hell do you keep lying about it to me?" I asked her. Still sobbing, she replied, "Please believe me, Ethan is only a friend, and yes, I met him today, but I have never had sex with him. That's for sure. Maybe not, but only because I put a stop to the two of your attempts is all. The show trip with him was almost too weird to be a serious attempt, but today you had everything much better planned. Your minor mistakes got me convinced that shopping was not included in your intentions for the day. But the old saying says, the third attempt will get it. Therefore, it is high time to skip this relationship before you get any chance to get it happening." I told her, "Please don't do that to me. I have never cheated on you and promise to be your faithful wife if you will give me a chance to show that," Sophia said. I replied, "I've regretted several times that we didn't split up when you intended going to that damn show and spending a night at a hotel with Ethan Wallace. You used my temporary lack of money as an excuse for going with him, and wanted to do that for economic reasons. If you had wanted to do sex, you could have afforded pay for that trip for at least 100 people without any problem. But you refused to assist the man who you claim to want to marry, although he begged you for help with his temporary problem. I gave you a second chance, even though your show trip intentions with Ethan still hurts, but the mess with him today was the last straw on the camel's back. I'm probably not even the father of Chloe. I'm still ashamed and sorry about my actions during the time you were unemployed, and I've never complained because you refused to go that show. You are my only love since we met, and of course Chloe is your daughter. A woman who loves her boyfriend and fiancé would never lie to him and book dates at 2 hotels with an a-hole like Ethan Wallace. Things you've done behind my back. What about our wedding? Don't you care about what we have agreed to do?" "I've already booked many things," she exclaimed. "Ethan Wallace will probably be dumped by his wife, so you can feel free to marry him instead of me," I told her. Sophia had screwed up our big wedding plans that we had planned for our 10-year anniversary. She had already booked the church, a Rolls-Royce, and a very popular inn for the reception. It was one of the worst days in my life, and I felt like pile of crap. My decision was made and no third chance would be given. Sophia's and my split up was irrevocable and nothing could stop it. So, this ended a once-in-a-lifetime happy family relationship. I will never deny that it felt like hell. Sophia was a beautiful girl with many good qualities, and that's why I would miss her very much, but I couldn't take her cheating attempts. I knew that a lot of people would regard me as an asshole for not forgiving Sophia for her failed naive attempts with Ethan Wallace. But I had already forgiven her intentions for going with Ethan for the weekend trip. What since then had remained as a wedge between us. A few days later, Sophia confessed what she had done with Ethan Wallace, and I had been right about him. He had worked hard on her and sent a big bunch of roses to her job with a card saying he was sorry if his interest for the weekend trip had caused her any problems. A week after that, he had invited her for lunch. After that, they had lunch together once or twice a week. Of course, the lunches had begun as innocent meetings with pleasant small talk, but their feelings for each other had slowly increased to some kind of sexual desire they couldn't deny or stop. One problem had been Ethan's canceled driving license, and that's why it was up to Sophia to fix the car. Ethan had booked room at a small hotel he had used before. Sophia said she had begun to regret the whole thing already at our door when I warned her for a canceled wedding if she dated Ethan Wallace. She had told him that I suspected her for cheating with him and wanted to cancel the whole thing, but Ethan, who already paid for the room, had persuaded her to go on. She did. The room wasn't ready when they came to the hotel, so they went to a cafe where they got a call from a worried Olivia who suggested her to skip it. When Sophia called me and I asked her to give the phone to Olivia, she had began to fear the worst, and when she rang Olivia to get her to call me, Olivia had shouted to her, "Skip the damn date and go home before it is too late." She wanted to do that, but Ethan had refused to go, so they had began arguing until Olivia called again, and told her that I had found out exactly what Sophia was doing. A furious Ethan began to understand that all his plans about sex were fading away. Now even Sophia had lost her temper and told him she regretted as hell to have accepted that damn date with a high risk for canceling her wedding and relationship with me. Then a totally mad Olivia rang again and screamed about me crushing her marriage. My last call, with questions about if Chloe was a scum sucker child, had caused her screaming in despair and began running to get the car. Then Ethan got a call with a warning about me hunting for him with a shotgun. That call had turned him into a wreck, and he didn't dare to get back home with Sophia in her car, so he took a taxi. Now, a crying Sophia said that she would never in her remaining lifetime be able to understand why she didn't stop her stupid date when she still could save her wedding and future together with me and Chloe as a family. Then the shit really hit the fan when I got results of the DNA test that said that A and B were not relatives, but A and C were. In other words, Sophia is Chloe's mother, but I'm not her father. Now I found it best to connect a lawyer before taking it with Sophia. Now when the game was over, a shameful Sophia preferred to confess to me at home rather than at the court about how she came to be pregnant and who did it. She was off the pill when we doing our best to get her pregnant. During that time, she had been at a conference, and after a jolly party she had spent a night together with a Julian Carter, a handsome married man with 3 children. Neither Sophia nor I had ever suspected that I wasn't the father of Chloe. My lawyer began the long legal process to get Julian Carter to pay my money back and take over the payments until Chloe got 18 or 25 if she went for higher education. A shared custody for Chloe was out of question, but Sophia and I agreed that she could see me as much as she wanted and keep her room at my house. I wasn't her real dad, but I was the only dad she knew, and I would always be there for her. It wasn't Chloe's fault that her mom had cheated me. Liam had taken Olivia's cheating with hard feelings, very hard indeed. After Olivia's confession, he had gone straight to Victor Jensen and beat the crap out of him, sending him to the hospital for a week. Because Liam's vengeance was witnessed by Jensen's wife and his 2 children, it would be very difficult for Liam to avoid spending a few months in jail. Sophia earned a new nickname, Divorce Queen, because her failed attempts of cheating on me with Ethan Wallace caused 5 divorces, what at least in our town was the best-known top score for a failed cheating group. All these people split up, Olivia and Liam, Chloe's father Julian Carter and his wife, Olivia's conference lover Victor Jensen and his wife, Ethan Wallace and his wife, and of course, Sophia and me. I suppose that it will be a rotten time for all involved, though time will probably, sooner or later, heal the wounds for all us. After all, nowadays we are not alone with such experiences. Far from that, because almost half of the population has been through divorce. My family had no winner but 3 losers, and I was very sorry about the problems we had caused for Chloe, who continued to spend more time with me at her old home than in Sophia's new apartment. She paid a high price for what Sophia had done. As far as I was told, Sophia was still hoping that I would forgive her and take her back. I myself didn't feel well after all the crap I've been involved in such a short time. Losing my job, economic problems, Sophia's cheating attempts, parting from her, and the worst of all, to be thrown in my face that I wasn't the father of my daughter. Though I'm getting some invitations from interested females, I have not dated any girl yet, probably because I'm still mourning my lost family that hurts like hell. Through a lot of thinking, I still can't understand how Sophia could be so eager to get a date an a-hole like Ethan Wallace. That she, even after my serious warnings, didn't hesitate to risk and dump our wedding and everything we had together. One of the strange mysteries in this sad story is that now, when both Sophia and Ethan are free and living by their own, they have lost all interest for each other and have not dated at all. The only sure thing I know is that though Sophia Stillman is a lovely girl, she will never be my loving wife. Dear listeners, please share your thoughts in the comments section below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.